This presentation was given at Mayflower Marina in Plymouth, UK, to berth holders and others interested in the marine life there on the 24th of April 2026. On the day, it was co-presented by me, John Hepburn. Not really a pirate ship, but a traditionally rigged sailing vessel. I started doing this in the Bristol Channel pilot cutter Cornubia, sailing out of here in 2010. Then I moved the project to the Island Trust in 2017, based in Plymouth Yacht Haven, currently in the topsail schooner Joanna Lucretia. Although I knew a bit about marine life from volunteering as a rockpool guide at Wembury, being a sea search diver and helping with a marine aliens project with the Marine Biological Association, I was no expert, and in 2010 I relied on volunteers from the National Marine Aquarium and the Marine Biological Association to do the marine science. My co-presenter was Eleanor Goodall, who is not available for this recording. We met in 2021, both keen volunteers at Wembury Marine Centre, supporting the rockpool and snorkel safaris. We struck up a friendship, and I asked if she would like to join me as an on-board ocean educator for the Island Trust. She enthusiastically said yes, and the rest is history. I think of her as the scientist. She says she's really just an enthusiast and loves any opportunity to combine conservation and education. Since 2010, I've become a huge fan of marinas as a free aquarium here and abroad, hanging over the deck, or better still, snorkeling to find a whole ecosystem. And now I know a lot more, enough to know how little I know. Marinas are gateways to the world beneath the waves and support an incredible number of species. The marina itself provides artificial structures that mimic natural habitats, things like pontoons, piles, ropes, tyres and buoys. They also offer a calm, protected space, away from wave action, rough seas and storms. Anemones are often found under the pontoons, as the structures provide shelter and a hard substrate for the foot of the anemone to attach. There is also an abundance of small mobile animals such as prawns and plankton, which the anemones can feed on by waving their tentacles around in the water column. Some anemones, such as the plumos on the left, form large colonies. Sea squirts or tunicates are common fouling organisms found on pontoons and boat hulls. They thrive in high flow environments where they can filter the water for plankton, dead stuff and poo. To do this, they have two openings called siphons, seen clearly in the photo on the right, one for sucking in water which they filter for food and one for squirting the water out. Feather stars and skeleton shrimp are examples of semi-mobile animals that inhabit the marina. Both spend most of their time attached to the pontoons, but have the ability to swim freely if needed. They also act as marine detritivores, eating yet more plankton, dead stuff and poo. The marina also hosts a variety of mobile creatures, such as sea spiders and crab species. We most commonly find European shore crabs under the pontoons, possibly as they've been displaced from the highly competitive intertidal zone by the larger, stronger Montagu's crabs. Within the marina, they are opportunistic feeders that consume algae, mussels, barnacles, and small fish. Eleanor's favourite creatures, and I'm quite a fan too, the sea slugs or nudibranchs. These tiny slugs have specialised diets and consume anemones, bryozoans and hydroids. On the right you can see a species called Paleonothus, which has specialised gills towards its rear, which filter oxygen from the water. At the front are two sensory organs called rhinophores, from the Greek for nose and smell, which they use to pick up biological signals from the water. Jellyfish are commonly found in marinas during warmer months, often appearing in large numbers due to wind and tidal currents. The hard structures within the marina also provide the perfect surfaces for baby jellyfish, called polyps, to begin their life. We tend to find plenty of moon and compass jellyfish in Plymouth harbours and marinas during the summer. If you've ever peered over the side of the pontoons, you may have noticed fish, either small shoaling species such as mackerel or larger grazers such as mullet. Grey triggerfish, on the left, are also increasingly common summer visitors to UK waters, driven by warming sea temperatures. Now for some gubbins which will help you look at life in the marina. Settlement plates are just a weighted sheet of something lowered into the water. On the left is a piece cut from a plastic milk bottle. On the right, a specially made sheet of corrugated plastic. 6 months later, this is what they both looked like. A baited remote underwater video, or BRUV, known in ocean discoverability as crab cam. This is Mark 1 with just an action camera and space for a light for gloomy UK waters. And I take it on holidays too. But there are risks. I have nearly lost crab cam to giant morays twice. As it goes in harm's way, I advocate keeping it cheap. Don't put a GoPro on it. So which bits of kit will do the job? I've gone for the cheapest options on Amazon. These are the prices from last year, and some have gone down. Specimen dishes not included, as patent peparium and pate pots do the job. The lids from Pringle tubes fit on goo pudding pots. Proper plankton nets are hugely expensive. Make your own, see online, or in a plankton book. These are some books I found useful. The Collins Guide is more recent than the Oxford Guide. Paul Naylor's is less of an ID guide and a good dog watch read for amazing facts. The Plankton Guide is exactly what it says on the cover, and the Sea Search Guide is one of a series, the others going into more details of taxonomic groups, helpfully putting together in one volume taxa that you're likely to confuse. There are multiple platforms and apps for uploading your observations. However, the most widely used and accessible is called iNaturalist. How does it work? You take a picture in the app, or upload one you've already taken, and add the location, date and time. Next, you need to identify the observation. iNat uses AI to make suggestions, so you don't need to be an expert. However, I would recommend using the books or guides previously mentioned to assist you in IDing your findings. Once the observation is research grade, based on a community consensus of 2 to 3 other users, it automatically links your record to the National Biodiversity Network UK database. Your records can then be used to help build a picture of local biodiversity, support conservation efforts, and even inform environmental policy. Its advantage over similar national recording schemes is that if you're cruising abroad, you can use it to record your observations there. You can also create named projects in iNat, using a digital GIS boundary to collate your finds. But this is an example of a project I set up for a voyage on Pegasus in 2019. So you could set up one for your boat and invite friends to join it while they're on board. You can also create an area-based project for your own marina, for instance. Another global project you can join is the Secchi Disc project. You drop a 30 cm white disc attached to a measuring tape over the side, note the depth it disappears, and record the time, location and depth on the app, and you're adding to a massive and really useful data set. Trans-Europe Marinas provides reciprocal berthing discounts for boaters. Their mission now extends to shaping a more sustainable, inclusive and resilient future for the wider marine community. They want to support vital ocean science and resilience projects via a range of initiatives, such as Land Sea Lot, focusing on the integration of citizen science within marina communities. Trans-Europe Marinas is funding a senior researcher to join Land Sea Lot and facilitate citizen science within marina communities, and develop practical starter packs, including low-cost sensors like Secchi discs and N-vloggers, and educational toolkits for boaters, divers and marina operators. Land Sea Lot is a Horizon Europe project focused on improving how we observe coastal areas where land and sea meet, especially marinas and ports. It brings together data from in situ measurements, satellites modeling and citizen science to better understand these communities. The project also supports marinas in building ocean literacy and basic scientific skills, helping them contribute to education and meaningful data collection, which is how we got involved. Here is our N-Vlogger deployed and attached to one of our newer settlement plates. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments on the Life Beneath the Keel YouTube channel. Thank you.